How's it going, peeps? It's your boy Ozzy. Welcome back. Been a minute since I did a video like this, but been doing the podcast, so hopefully you guys have been enjoying them. But today, we're going to be talking about 5 NBA free agents the Detroit Pistons can sign. Some of these, they would have to make some cap room to do, but these are all possible realistic moves. Just depends on what Dwayne Casey in the front office wants to do. But first, before we're going to do that, we got a couple of questions I got submitted into me. And if you want to be part of this, I kind of want to start doing this more often. Comment on this video or follow me on Twitter and Instagram. The link's in the description, all that stuff. So let's get this first one. First one comes from Ethan Patrick 4, asking what do I think Luke Kennard's stat line is going to be for this season. I think he's going to average about 15 points, 2.5 assists, and about 2 or 3 boards. But I think he's going to progress more next season. This is going to be more of a learning curve playing with Casey. He's going to have a green light this year, shooting more threes. He's going to be more involved. But 15 points is a huge improvement for him. So somewhere in that ballpark, I see him going. So I think that's realistic for him. Now, this next one comes in from Sonny, and he wants to know, I guess it's not really a question, but he said we need an elite shooter, and I got just the guy for that spot.
And his name is John C. Your time is up, my time is now. You can't see me, my time is now.
But seriously, I think it's just going to be Luke Kennard, just developing his game in the next coming seasons and make him that elite shooter. So now, further ado, let's get into these players who I think the Pistons have a real shot of getting. Now, these are in no particular order, so don't think I'm ranking them or anything. I'm just doing them as they come in, as to my head. So the first one I think is the most popular one that's going around right now, and that's Isaiah Thomas. He has been training with the Isaiah Thomas, and who knows if our Isaiah Thomas has been recruiting this Isaiah Thomas. He would be a perfect fit for the second unit, and you know, take pressure off of Ish. If Reggie goes down again, you would be able to bring in Isaiah. He'd be able to run with this first unit. If you wanted to, you could even play Ish with the first unit since he's got 2 years now doing that. And then have Isaiah still come off the bench. It doesn't matter. The ball's going to move with Ish, and then you have Isaiah for scoring. Just the problem with this one is you have to clear cap room and get him. So you'll probably have to trade John Luger away. No one's going to complain about that, but getting him off your hands, big contract coming off an injury is going to be hard to do. Langston Galloway, you're going to have to move him. Don't think anyone's going to be hurt about that, but again, it's a bad contract, paying him a lot of money, and he's not shooting the ball very well. Those are really the 2 guys that they'd be able to move for the rest of the guys that are on this list. But I think those 2 guys trading away, if somehow someone wants to take them without giving away a draft pick, you go ahead and sign these people. I mean, these guys are just scrubs. No one's going to care. But that's what they'd have to do for Isaiah Thomas. I liked Isaiah Thomas. I rooted for him. It was kind of awkward with him going to Cleveland and not getting along with everybody. But his problem is ego. And there's going to be a lot of pressure on him this year, trying to prove that last year was a fluke, that he's better from whatever he was. Plus, he'd be able to play the Celtics 4 times a year, be motivated if he still holds a grudge against them or whatever. So there's that for him. So hopefully that would be awesome. Let me know what you think about that one. Now, you read that right. It says Curry, but it's not Steph, it's Seth, his lesser of the brothers. I read it on Yahoo the other day that he is projected our #1 target in the offseason, which he plays point guard, shooting guard. Nowhere as good as Steph Curry if you're not familiar with him, but he is a solid player, especially coming in off the bench. He can really get things going. It wouldn't be a big blockbuster move or anything, but it'd be a solid move for adding depth. Just be thankful we didn't trade for Austin Rivers. Is all I got to say for that one. But it wouldn't be terrible. It's nothing fancy. It just adds depth in case Reggie goes down again. So that way you have a true point guard playing backup. Now, Michael Beasley is interesting to me. I don't believe he'd want a lot of money. So he is a potential guy you can sign and still get someone else on this list. Especially if you're still trading away some guys to make something happen. He hasn't had a great season. He's been in and out of the league and on different teams. I believe he was playing in China. It wasn't last year, but the year before that. So, I mean, he wants to do good. I don't think he wants to leave the NBA. So he was probably willing to take a pay cut. Probably like $2 to $5 million at the most to play. Pretty close to the minimum. But he has games where he drops 30, 40 points. He's not washed up, but he's nothing great. Again, adding depth, especially if you're going to lose Tolliver, which it looks like he's going to be going to New York. He would come off the bench, back up Blake. And if Blake gets hurt, which he can step in and play power forward. But he'd be someone that the younger guys can lean off from a little bit. And not necessarily learn about gameplay, but off the court, what not to do, all that kind of stuff. Be a mentor. Don't do what he did, and how to stay in the league. So that could be good for the younger guys. Rudy Gay is an interesting one. Opt out of San Antonio. Problem with this one, I don't know if he's going to want to come to Detroit. I think he's going to want to stay with a contender. He'll probably go to somewhere like Houston, most likely, unless Golden State got room to clear for him. He's still a very, very solid piece. Coming on off the bench. He's going to be one of the guys you have to trade for. He's going to want money. He did take a pay cut for San Antonio. They didn't get him anywhere. And now Kawhi's opting out, or wants to be traded. He's not opting out. But it feels like he's been kind of wasted in San Antonio. And he wants to get back on track. And if he's not going to be used the right way of scoring points, he wants to at least win a championship. So coming to Detroit, he could add depth. We really need a true small forward. And he'd be that guy coming off the bench. We just give him the ball and go to work, and he gets some buckets for us, which would be huge. But again, don't know if he wants to come here or not. So that's the only knock on that one. And then finally, last but not least, Jamal Crawford. He says, what can you say? The guy still plays. 37. That's the knock on him. He can play point guard, shooting guard, whatever you need from him. He's going to go get buckets. He's older. He can teach the young guys how to play. He'd be great for playoff time if we get that far, which we should. He got a lot of experience, and I believe he played for the University of Michigan, or he's from Michigan, if I'm not mistaken. Go ahead and fact check me on that one. But it'd be a solid piece. I'd like it. He'd still break someone. He'd bring a little bit of flash and flare. He's got experience with Blake Griffin. I don't think those two beefed. I think those two actually liked each other. And they had a really cool highlight right here.
There's the steal. Look out.
So that's pretty much that. If there's someone I left off the list that you guys wanted to know about, or if you're interested in, you think that I just overlooked them or didn't think about them, comment that down below. And then again, if you want to be in a video like I just did with the other two people in the beginning of the video, comment on this, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. And I like talking to you guys that way. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys thought about it and all that crap. And see you in the next one.